80% of men have stopped dating and having relationships with women. We knew this was going to come. Women said, men, we choose the bear over you. So men said, okay, well, now you can go hang out with Yogi and Boo Boo in the woods. Watch to the end of the video to fully understand the implication of men walking away from relationships and dating and how this is going to have a drastic effect on women going forward. Don't forget to check us out on Rumble. We're linked in the description of the video. And guys, before we begin, don't forget that the financial system is teetering on the edge. ATMs could freeze and banks might shut their doors. Your wealth is in jeopardy. Discover how to safeguard your assets with crypto. And at Angry's Crypto Academy, you'll learn how to buy, sell, and trade, as well as invest in the most secure coins. Plus, discover the dark horse crypto that virtually no one is talking about, which will mint new millionaires in the upcoming bull run. Click the link in the description of the video below to find out what this crypto is and join the academy today. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the first video.
Coincidence that every time someone says a real man, it's followed by something that they need from him. You ever thought about that? You ever thought about the fact that the last 3 generations of men were raised by women? You guys are all thinking that a good man is what these women have been brainwashed and eventually brainwashed you into thinking a good man was. A good man does not concede to a woman in the home. A good man does not live by the term happy wife, happy life. A good man does not become a beta walking ATM machine who does nothing but bend over backwards to provide for people who have no appreciation for him. A good man does not sacrifice his health, his well-being, his mental health so that he can provide for people. A good man serves from a place of leadership. As an example, yes, we are servants. Yes, our job is to provide. Yes, we have to protect the ones that we love. The way we do that is not through self-sacrifice. The way that we do that is by elevating ourselves to the highest possible level. I see a lot of men, at least 40, who spent their entire lives working like slaves to provide for a family. Where are they? They're enjoying the fruits of your labor while you struggle with depression, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, overweight, waiting for a heart attack. And you call that doing the right thing?
So this is our flagship humanoid AI-powered robot. She's highly realistic. She has her own social media, so she might be competing with you one day. What makes her really special is that you can talk to her and ask questions. So maybe we can have her introduce herself and say something.
Hello. I'm Aria, the flagship female companion robot of Realbotics.
What's the purpose of this?
Some of our peers in the robotic space make robots to replace human labor. We think that's a great area, but we think there's a much bigger area in having social robots. So for example, at a convention like this, we can draw a crowd very easily. Aria's been a little bit of a rock star here with people taking pictures and coming over. So she can promote your brand. The AI is all customizable, so she can learn all about you and your brand, and she can continue to communicate to people. There's a huge epidemic amongst adolescents and seniors on loneliness. So she can be programmed to know you and learn more about you. So she can make that bond with you that feels like a genuine human connection.
But they're going to be in the houses?
We don't have the ability to clean the house. They don't do physical labor, but they're more there to converse with you. It's companionship. They can actually even be a boyfriend or a girlfriend. So we have built that into our AI as well.
I mean, guys, the reality is, and most women don't comprehend this, is that the biggest danger to the replacement of modern women in society has nothing to do with dolls or bots that men can be physically intimate with. No, it's machines that replace the interpersonal connections that a man would have with a woman. Once a man no longer needs a woman for either of these things, it's over. There's a lot of men who will happily get one of these devices, even if they can't be physically intimate with it, but it provides companionship, someone to talk to, makes them feel less alone. There was a guy, an older man, I believe he was in the UK, and he had just a doll, and he would bring her around in a wheelchair, and he understood that it wasn't a real person. However, it helped with the loneliness because men live very lonely, desperate lives, and women mock us. Interestingly enough, modern women are going to experience an extraordinary loneliness in the coming years. and it's going to go on for decades, if not indefinitely. It's not going to go away over the course of our lives. Women are going to want it to end immediately. They're going to gaslight everyone and act like, hey, this is not real. It's not going to happen. Because that's how women operate. They live in their own reality and they create their own reality. I'll say something. The most important thing I've learned from my mother, specifically my parents, but specifically my mother, is not to argue with stupid people because they will beat you with experience. All right? Do not argue with women because they will always beat you with experience. This is something that men end up learning the hard way. This is something that George Carlin talked about. Do not argue with stupid people. These people, they live within their delusion, and it doesn't matter what the reality is. They will never agree with you. They will always tell you what they feel and what they want. It doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter if 2 + 2 = 4. They will tell you until the end of their lives and up to the point that they are passing away that it equals 5. This is how evil these people are. They are evil to the very end. Okay? And then many of these people will also say that they're of God. This is why I warn you guys, don't even waste your time with these people. Okay? Gen Z women, modern women are cooked. Okay? It's not just Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Millennial, a lot of Gen X women who played around and now who messed around and now are finding out they're heading into older age and they don't have options. They're going out there hooking up with the younger guys in their 20s and boasting about it while condemning men in their 30s and 40s for getting into relationships with 20-year-olds while they're getting into relationships, hookups with men who are 30 years younger than them, and saying that makes them valuable, not even realizing that what these Gen Z guys are doing, the few Gen Z guys that are still out there in the streets doing these things, they're doing a thing called hag maxing, where they basically hook up with with very old women. So these are Gen Zers that will hook up with 50-year-old women, 60-year-old women, and they're calling it hag maxing because it's easy access to physical intimacy. These are low value men. These are low value men that are basically taking whatever they can get. And then these women basically think that because they're able to attract poor, broke boys in their 20s, that makes them valuable. This is a sick society that we live in, but you have to understand that women will always live within their own delusion. They will always believe what they choose to believe, and nothing that you say will ever change that. And no matter what you do for them, they don't care. They really don't care about you.
How many guys have you?
They can't seem to understand why men are done, why men are sick and tired of this, why men are walking away from relationships with them and saying that we're not going to tolerate anymore. We're not going to take it anymore. They thought that they could keep this charade and sham going forever, where they basically could act like men, because they're in their masculine energy. They want wives, but then they also want a wife that's going to provide for them and protect them, okay, and submit to them, that they can basically treat horribly. Guys, did you know this is actually a crazy statistic? Crazy statistic. So basically, roughly half of all marriages, it's probably more than that now, half of all marriages between heterosexual couples will fail. Okay. Interestingly enough, marriages between men and one man and another man, they actually have the lowest rates of divorce. It's something like only 30%. So 70% of relationships between two men will actually make it. While it's 50-50 with men and women. And then here's the craziest thing. When it comes to women and women, they actually have the highest rates of divorce, towering between 70 to 90%. This is insane. Absolutely insane. So 7 to 9 out of every relationship between two women will fail. What does that tell you about the relationships and who are the actual problems in these relationships? Of course, modern women will never admit to these things because they will never take any accountability for anything. And of course, the simps will continue to push the narrative that they are victims, and the simps are just trying to get easy access to physical intimacy and opportunities, because by being a simp, you get access to spaces that are traditionally reserved for women and people of the LGBTQ XYZ community by saying that you're allies and you're basically you're basically supporters or and all this other BS. Like think about all of these woke companies, like these companies that go woke. Who are the only heterosexual guys left in these companies? A bunch of beta male simps, all right? A bunch of men who betrayed other men, sold out other men, claim to be allies. These are men that are often not in shape, overweight, sniveling. No one likes them, and these are the guys that still have jobs because they're a part of this. They're a part of the brigade that have pushed to create this environment where they'll be given special treatment, special opportunities, and everyone else is given special punishments. And all they had to do was betray men and masculinity to get it. That's why I said Sims do not like us. They HATE us. They are desperate, pathetic little weasels that should never be trusted.
I want you, but chase me. I don't want you, but chase me. It's never going to be you, and I'm never going to sleep with you, but keep chasing me. I'm not physically attracted to you, but keep chasing me. I'm going to expect the maximum from you, and I'm going to give you what I think you deserve and give you just enough so that you keep chasing me. The only time I'm going to show you any real affection is when I need something. I'm going to flirt with you, drop mixed signals, and drop little hints that you might have a shot so you keep chasing me. I'm going to ghost you for months and then only come back when the guy I picked over you does me dirty as hell. We're going to pick up right where we left off, and you're going to think you have a shot, but I'm really using you to build my own ego back up again. And then I'm going to ghost you again. But you're going to wonder what happened, so you're going to keep chasing me. And I'm going to make you jump through unnecessary hoops while I give the cheeks to the guy I really like who didn't do anything. And we're both going to laugh at you. But keep chasing me.
Let me ask you something. When the banks collapse, and trust me, it's coming, will you be ready? Imagine waking up to ATMs that don't work, bank doors chained shut, and millions of people left with nothing. No cash, no access to their savings, and no way to survive. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy, to teach you everything you need to know about crypto so you can protect yourself and your family. You'll learn how to buy, sell, and even day trade crypto for a living. Plus, we alert you to new crypto trends so you can profit before everyone else even knows what's happening. Right now, I've just published an exclusive investment guide inside the Academy, and it's linked in the description below. In it, I reveal the one coin that could make you a millionaire. A coin so revolutionary, it could change everything. If you missed out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is your second chance. This isn't just about financial freedom. It's about survival. When the system collapses and everyone else is selling, you'll be the one buying, prepared to weather the storm and thrive while others struggle to survive. Don't wait. This knowledge isn't optional, it's critical. The link's in the description. Go check it out now.
Would you guys?
Now we're at 1,000. Shit. All right,
That's not even enough for our rent.
Stage for any hoe is going to always be religion. The best way to figure out if a woman is an asset or a liability, just ask for her credit score or tell her you want a prenup. Any woman that's always on her phone when she's around you but takes forever to respond cannot be trusted. Always treat women exactly how they treat you. The best way to test a woman is to offer to go 50-50 on a first date. If a woman isn't immediately nurturing or wanting to take care of you, she doesn't like you. Always check her social media because you never know who she's following, especially when there's videos out there that teach women how to fake cry. If she refuses to get rid of Snapchat, just know that she is keeping the door open for somebody else. The only reason that she doesn't want to go 50-50 with you is because she can't even afford 50% of your lifestyle. Because she's broke. A woman who uses the phrase, "I'm literally just a girl," is actually using weaponized incompetence to be financially irresponsible or irresponsibly unstable and will wreck your life. Manipulation and abuse doesn't have to be screaming or yelling or even hitting you. Sometimes neglect can be anything from not having your needs met, not giving up any kind of intimacy, not taking care of herself intentionally so you find her less attractive, not listening to you, not hearing you, not understanding you, and dismissing your feelings. If her schedule changes drastically suddenly and she's staying late at work, or she's suddenly picking up more shifts, she's cheating on you. If a woman is always arguing with you, just know that she picked you and she doesn't respect you, because any woman that respects you is not going to want to argue with you all the time. Surefire way to know if you're a good dad is if she uses your kids against you because she knows it's the only thing that's going to hurt your feelings. Because if you were a deadbeat, then she'd know that you wouldn't give a damn about those kids, so she wouldn't have to use the kids to manipulate you. So it's a blessing and a curse. She tries to gaslight you by telling you that she's posting provocative pictures for herself on the internet because she worked hard for her body. Just know that she's full of fucking shit, and she wants validation and attention from other men. And it's validation, reassurance, and attention from other men that you can't compete with, because you cannot compete with thousands of men when you're just one. So nothing you ever do is going to be good enough. And as long as you accept this type of behavior, she's going to continuously disrespect you. If you try to set boundaries, expectations, and standards and keep to your preferences with women, and suddenly she's calling you narcissistic or controlling, it's because she's not really a good woman. And lastly, any woman that doesn't make direct eye contact with you when she's having a conversation with you is probably lying about something. And if something doesn't make sense, it's probably not true.
Guys, there is no reason for men in Western society at this point in history, at this point in time, to continue putting up with this nonsense, to continue putting up with the games, to continue putting up with the disrespect. There is no reason for any of us to be doing it. As men, simply put, we have to basically take our ball and go home. As men, simply put, we have to learn how to walk away and stay away. We have to say no. It's beyond time for men to stand up for themselves and to leave behind the things that are not working. And as you guys can see, 80% of men have opted out of relationships. They have opted out of dating. They are not getting married. They're not having children. Over 90% of men at this point are not getting married. That's the interesting thing. So while 80% of men are no longer dating or having relationships, over 90% of men are no longer getting married. All right. The actual numbers is crazy small. It's basically 1 out of every 1,000 men are currently getting married. That's madness. 1 out of every 1,000 men. So this basically means that it's at this point, roughly less than 1% of men are currently getting married. So most men are not getting married. Most men are not having children. Most men are not having relationships. You have a lot of Gen Z women who are crying and complaining about this, saying that they can't find a man to date them in their age group. And the reality is that most of these men today, we've had 3 generations of men raised by women. And we can see what the consequences are now, where men have been raised to be submissive to women. I've talked about, guys, the golden V and the collapse of the golden V. I said this in another video, and I will say it again. God has allowed them to reach the highest mountain so that they can fall from the highest peak. All right. And when they hit the bottom, it's sure going to hurt. They made this choice for themselves. And let me tell you guys something. I've learned this personally, that there's always something lower. There's always a new rock bottom before you finally pass away. There's always a new low for you to achieve. And modern women are going to begin discovering this for themselves. And it's going to be epic. What do you guys think? Are you shocked that so many men have opted out of relationships with women? And do you agree that women are going to be heading into a future of extraordinary hardship, pain, suffering, and destitution in Western society and Westernized societies? Let me know your thoughts, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.